Okay, so now we're going to work through a word problem using multiplication with an algebraic expression. So, you might want to write this down, the whole question, okay? Dairy Queen needs a new tiny parking lot. The area of it will be 175 meters squared. The length will be 7 times bigger or longer than the width. Find the length and the width of the parking lot. Okay, so I'm going to work through this on a whiteboard and hold it up after every step. So we know that the formula for area is what? Length times width. First step, area equals length times width. But we don't want to find the area because we already know it. If you look at our question, what's the area? 175. 175 what? Good, meters squared. Do we know anything about the length or the width yet? Not numerically, but we know that the length is 7 times longer than the width. So, our formula for figuring this out is going from area equals length times width to subbing in 175 meters squared for area, 7W times W. Now the reason I chose W is because of the width. We know that the length is 7 times the width, so I'm letting 7W represent our width. Okay? But now we need to multiply 7W times W. Take a minute, think about what we talked about in our last video where we learned about multiplying algebraic expressions. And what do we do? Now, since there's only the W here, we remember that it's actually 1W. So we're multiplying 7W times 1W. So what was our rule with the exponents? (175 meters squared equals 7W squared. 7 times 1 equals 7, and W times W equals W squared. Because the W, since there's no exponent, they also mean exponent 1. So we're doing W times W and adding those two exponents together, the 1 plus 1. Okay? So we get 7W squared. I'll actually, you know what? I'm going to draw a 1 there for you. So it technically means this, 7W1 times W1. So we add the two ones together, and that's how we got this 2. Okay? Our next step is that we want to get the W on its own. So we want to have the W squared by itself. So in order to do that, we're going to take this 7 and bring it over to this side. And if we do that, we have to divide. So let me show you what I mean. I'll use a different color. So I want to put w squared by itself. So we're going to take the 7 over to the other side of the equal sign. And divide it with 175. So how many 7s go into 175? Pause this video and try and figure that out, okay? What number goes into 175 7 times equally? If you got 25, you're bang on. So w squared now equals 25. But now the next part is we want to get rid of the squared because we're only finding the length. Remember, the length is like perimeter. So it's not squared. The area is the inside of the rectangle. But we just want to find the one side length, the width, the length of the width. So, our next step is to find the square root of 25. And the square root is what number times itself equals 25. And the square root symbol looks like the division, long division symbol. So I got rid of my squared, and I want to find the square root of 25, so then I can have our w, our width, on its own. So what number multiplied by itself equals 25? Well, what's 5 squared? 5 times 5. Is that 25? Yes. So w equals 5 now. But 5 what? 5 kilometers, 5 centimeters, 5 meters. We found the width. But that doesn't answer our question. We need the width and the length. So if you go back to our word problem, what does it say about our length? The length will be 7 times bigger than the width. So if we know the width is 5 meters, all we need to do is multiply that 5 meters times 7, and that'll give us our length. Okay? So our length equals 5 groups of 7. And if we skip count by 5 7 times, or if we know what 5 times 7 is, we're going to put 35 meters. So the length of our parking lot is 35 meters, and the width is 5 meters. And when we have a word problem, we always solve it and end it with a therefore statement. Therefore, the length of the parking lot is 35 meters and width is 5 meters, period. Ran out of room there, but there we go. Okay? A little bit tricky, a lot of steps. I will post a picture of this and the problem on our website, and this video is always going to be here for you to review. If you find this tricky, watch it again, pause it, work through it. You could switch the numbers around and make a new problem if you like. And we will see you next time for division.